The Bulls versus the Bears. Get in the game. www.tackletrading.com.
Hello everybody, this is Coach D with TackleTrading.com, here to give you a market update recap. Seeing the S&P actually continue to rise today here on the 16th as we open up the trading week after the holiday here. One of the things I notice is that we do get that price movement up, nice strong candle up. Volume is below average, so if you look at average volume through here, volume came in below average, not overwhelming. The bigger context here is that big drop, kind of less of a drop, almost forming a double bottom here. And so we're seeing that slowdown. Now we can see it head either way from here. Typically, if you're going to see this, run out of gas and drop back down, we'd see a lower high, would be kind of my expectation on that. But started out with some upward movement just on below average volume. So let's take a look at some of the other major market indices here. And you can see here where the Nasdaq, very, very similar, kind of broke through a key support zone, big drop, less of a drop, lower than average volume here on the rise. So probably, again, would expect this to fall again. And the question will be, I think, if it makes a higher low, an equal low. You can see it go any way there, but you want to watch, if we get a higher low, that would be a sign for reversal. If it comes back in and retests the low, that's certainly more of a breakdown type scenario if it comes in and tests that low the same. So watch out to see if we get that higher low. Here would be the Dow. Very, very same, similar chart pattern. Volume's a little bit more typical on this. A little bit of the upper shadow there at the end of the day might show some of the loss of momentum in that. So see that on the Dow. Let's look at Russell 2000 now. And it has a slowing momentum pattern. So it's got the down 1, up 2, big drop 3, up 4, 5. So it's showing what I would expect to be kind of a fifth wave, and from here you'd expect a correction of an ABC. But it's in that context. So this is kind of continuing downward trend. So there's nothing to say it can't keep going from support here down. But in the context is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and after that, typically you'd expect more of a correction. Here's a 1, here's a 2, here's a 3, here's a 4, here's a 5, correction back up. So kind of in that ballpark. Let's look at crude light, and here we're seeing above average volume on. Okay, so here's a big difference in the volume picture. Should account for some more interesting scenarios here. You have well above average typical volume in there, and it's got that shot up, boom, it did lose that, came back down. So that's kind of a shorter term bearish signal, but again, in the context here, it is a slowing momentum pattern. So we are seeing that the size of the drop, boom to boom, that's a good size drop, and the next drop much smaller, took a lot less time. So you got your general price drop in time being a great deal less as you process how long it took from bottom to bottom to bottom. You get a compression that also makes a little golden ratio of time. So you can see that there. That long shadow up there shows some more pressure to the downside. So this could just continue in its downward channel. But that slowing momentum in context, seasonally, sometime between February and March, it doesn't necessarily happen consistently, but sometime in that ballpark, you'll see a double bottom form and a reversal. And so, this year might be different due to some of the extenuating pressures on crude light, but keep an eye on that. Dollar index is coming off of a retracement in here. So it's got we talked about this in the stock report, the consolidation pattern here and a breakdown, slowed down. And I was talking about it being overextended down. We'd see some more up. But in that context, it still kind of becomes a bear retracement in here. So we'd watch to see if we can get a higher low that stays in context with, here we can see for that for reversal. By policy, the dollar should be the one that holds stronger. And then let's go with the GC, which is gold contract here, put in a retracement. So after going parabolic here, this is going to be time to watch for a buy signal on this. So you want to go and kind of look at it from, all right, here's the known support resistance zone. It went parabolic, shot up, retracement back down. When it watched for it to find support somewhere in this neighborhood. I mean, it could be lower, it could be, anywhere in that ballpark, but we're going to watch for that to give us a signal back up, and we'll look for the next run up. We expect after you get that big momentum up, which would be very, very similar for what I'd expect to see for silver. Not as pronounced as gold, but nonetheless, it did come in and challenge the trend at a minimum. Also, retracement, so we'd watch for the support zone on that, and put it in conjunction with, this is where I'd say, okay, here's the violation of the downward channel, and that's a strong sign. It's broken first levels of resistance, and it came up and is retesting. So we want to see if that can again form a higher low somewhere in this context. You might see it in that support resistance neighborhood, or even in that support resistance neighborhood, as you can kind of go back and look at it. And it looks like it's about 25-cent increments is what we're seeing on that. So I'd say somewhere here between 15.25, 15, and 14.75 for support, probably higher up in this neighborhood. And so watch for that. That'd be a very strong buy signal. Volatility index is dropped back to 24. So market, it kind of shows some of the market's trend here. In that regard, you can see the negative correlation, but creeping higher, so the market's still relatively tentative. So keep an eye on that. And then we'll take a look at the traders index here. Traders index just down at 0.75. That's not too extended to the upside, so I wouldn't expect a short-term market reversal on that. That is your market update and recap. This is Coach D with TackleTrading.com. Join us in the clubhouse for more comments and correspondence.
Isn't it time you got off the sidelines and tackled trading? Join our online community of active traders where we make it happen every day. Stocks, options, futures, and Forex at www.tackletrading.com. Get in the game.